Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the time something was just so hilarious that no one in the scene could hold it together. We know you're hoping to see Rose's great herring war anecdote, but reportedly it was all scripted, so it doesn't qualify for our list today.
After that, no other herring would do.
Number 20, Baby's First Direction, Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad is packed with intense drama, and the cast really knows how to pull us in. But there's one little cast member who steals the show in her own way. In this scene, Skylar tearfully worries about her family's safety.
So what's this about the kids not being safe? Safe from what? From us? From Walt and me?
Now, it's hard enough to ignore baby Holly's cuteness in the final cut, but in the blooper reel, it's even tougher. As Marie comforts her sister, baby Holly adds her own commentary.
The kids? They are safe. Of course they are. I don't think she feels very safe.
The actors can't help but laugh, taking it as Holly's contribution to the conversation. Perhaps she was just offering notes on Betsy Brandt and Anna Gunn's acting. Maybe this is why they say not to work with kids.
I respect you.
Number 19, A Sneeze, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. In this episode, the squad is invited to a party at Captain Holt's house, but there's just one problem. For a bunch of cops, their social skills are kind of lacking.
Why wouldn't Holt want us there?
Because he thinks we're going to embarrass him in front of his husband, which frankly is insulting. Oh man, all the orange soda spilled out of my cereal.
So Terry calls them all in for a crash course on basic manners and party etiquette. Of course, everyone has questions, including Gina, who wants to know if Jennifer Aniston-style shorts are acceptable to wear for such an occasion.
No staring at your phones, no rolling in 2 hours late, no sweatpants, no jeans, and no shorts.
What about dress-up shorts, for instance, the kind Jen Aniston might wear?
No, those are still shorts. No shorts.
Classic Gina. Anyway, in one outtake, her line is hilariously interrupted by an untimely sneeze from Andy Samberg. It's a tiny goof and, of course, completely beyond his control, but it's enough to make the rest of the cast burst into laughter.
What about dress-up shorts, for instance?
Number 18, 8 Simple Rules to Breaking Your Castmates. 8 Simple Rules. John Ritter was a comedic genius who could always make his castmates laugh, whether it was planned or not.
Oh, it's always me.
In 8 Simple Rules, he played the overprotective Paul, who hilariously struggles with watching his daughters grow up.
Just so you know, Kyle, if you ever pull into my driveway and honk, you better be delivering a package because you're sure as hell not picking anything up.
The gag reel is packed with Ritter's antics, from his quirky acting choices to flubbing lines and playfully teasing his co-stars. He had that rare gift for turning any moment into a laugh-out-loud scene.
Stop imitating me! Stop it!
How can we pick just one favorite when he gave us so many? Paul was an essential part of the show, and Ritter was clearly the heart and soul behind the scenes too. Thanks for all the laughs, man.
I wanted 10:30. You said 11, I said 11:30.
No, she said 12.
How you weren't even there.
Number 17, Ted's Story, How I Met Your Mother. When Barney gets shaken by a blast from the past, he makes a deal with his friends. If they want him to spill his embarrassing secret, they have to share theirs first. He's especially keen to hear Ted's re-return story, but Ted's reluctant to divulge it and offers up a different humiliating tale instead.
I was playing Ultimate Frisbee in college, and there was this barefoot dude with weirdly sharp toenails.
Oh, come on, Ted. You know what story I want to hear.
Things take a hilarious turn in the outtake when Josh Radnor flubs his line.
So I was playing Ultimate Frisbee in college, and there was this barefoot dude with weirdly sharp testicles.
Oh, come on.
After that, the cast can't keep it together, and several subsequent attempts to film the scene end in laughter. Seriously, they cannot stop. It might not be the juicy story Barney was fishing for, but couldn't they at least have finished the scene for us?
Spill it, Mosby.
Fine. The green testicle story.
Number 16. You Want a Piece of Me? Seinfeld. George Costanza and moral integrity rarely go together, so it's no surprise when he tries to impress Elaine's colleague Anna with a bad boy image. He ends up getting arrested for bootlegging and needs his dad to bail him out, setting the stage for this outtake.
My George isn't clever enough to hatch a scheme like this.
You got that right.
What the hell does that mean?
That means whatever the hell you want it to mean.
You saying you want a piece of me?
Frank gets into a spat with Elaine, who's there to bail out Anna, after she insults his son's intelligence. Jerry Stiller, a true comedy legend, can't even get through a simple line without cracking up the cast.
That means whatever the hell you want it to mean.
You're saying you want a piece of me?
Julia Louis-Dreyfus is the first to lose it, quickly followed by Jason Alexander and Rebecca McFarland. Stiller, always the pro, leans into the comedy, leaving everyone in stitches.
You want a piece of me? You got it!
Number 15. Laughter in the Bathroom, Will and Grace. Season 8 of Will and Grace treated us to 2 live episodes, where there were no second chances for hilarious mishaps. The eyebrow incident had us all chuckling, but the real chaos took off in an episode centered in Karen's bathroom.
Why has Karen had this party for 10 years and never invited us until now?
You weren't invited to this one either. I screwed up and put you on the list.
It's outrageous! Why wouldn't you want the 3 of us here?
Will, Grace, and Jack discover Karen hosts secret parties without inviting them, because apparently someone's bound to embarrass her. As they argue over who that culprit might be, they can't contain their laughter.
You know what I see when you talk? William Hurt in a wig.
You are both embarrassing. If I had a party, I wouldn't invite either of you.
Soon, they're hurling beauty products at each other. By the time Karen enters, the absurdity of it all has clearly sunk in, causing Sean Hayes to completely lose it and take his castmate down with him.
What kind of prescription plan are you on, by the way?
Number 14, Son of a Bee, Supernatural. This season 3 episode sees con artist Bella Talbot do everything she can to steal a lucky rabbit's foot.
Maybe next time, I'll hang you out to dry.
Oh, don't go away, Angry. Just go away.
Have a nice night, boys.
Although ultimately unsuccessful, she does manage to drive away with Dean's winning scratch tickets.
Oh. Forgot, we're at $46,000. Almost forgot about the scratch tickets.
Now, how would you feel if someone disappeared with your chance at winning thousands of dollars? There's certainly no mistaking Dean's feelings as he loudly exclaims,
"Son of a bitch!"
But hang on, is that a smile we see on Sam actor Jared Padalecki's face? According to The Star, his co-star's overzealous response wasn't what he was expecting, but he didn't want to ruin the take, so he turned his head away from the camera to hide his reaction. Unlike the time Padalecki accidentally hit his on-screen father, causing everyone to break. Number 13, a forking good blooper, The Good Place. In season 4, the gang is tasked with getting Demon Sean on board with their idea for the medium place. He refuses, leading Jason to say,
"You used to be cool, but you've changed, man."
As this blooper shows, the idea that Sean was ever cool and Manny Jacinto's epic delivery were simply too hilarious for the cast to handle.
"You know, Sean, you used to be cool, but you've changed, man."
According to series creator Michael Schur, they were so tickled by this line that they couldn't stop giggling, quote, for 3.5 minutes. William Jackson Harper, who played Chidi, also revealed that they laughed so much that Ted Danson cried. If you ask us, it sounds like the Good Place set is a forking great place to be.
"You used to be cool, but you've changed."
Number 12, Carlton Breaks the Set, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Speaking of fun sets, Alfonso Ribeiro, who played Carlton on Fresh Prince, once shared that the cast loved to entertain their audience to the fullest. On one memorable day, he asked the directors to focus on him because he had something funny planned. In the scene, Will tells a dramatic tale about Lisa as payback for a prank pulled by her and Carlton. The scene could have ended shortly after Ribeiro's panicked exit.
Oh my gosh, she's still up there! Oh my
God! Instead, the actor indulged in a hilarious, over-the-top masterpiece that takes down his castmate, some extras, and the entire studio audience. It was such a riot that, of course, they had to keep it in the final cut. Number 11, The Dentist, The Carol Burnett Show. Tim Conway had a real knack for finding humor in everyday situations. We'll be seeing more of that later too. In this episode, he plays a freshly graduated dentist who accidentally anesthetizes himself, setting off a chain of hilarious mishaps.
There'll be a little bit of pain, and then numbness will set in.
His co-star, Harvey Korman, can't hide his laughter as things spiral out of control. Yes, in this context, the whole cast might be just one other person, but Korman's reaction alone is worth an ensemble of 1,000.
Yeah, I'll be right with you.
Eventually, Conway can't resist joining in the laughter as well. According to Conway, Korman found the whole thing so hysterical that he might have had a little mishap himself.
Better look at it a little closer with the light. Sorry, I didn't, just... Oh, well, now that'll be $20.
Number 10, Hot and Foamy, Frasier. The actual aired take that led up to this moment is absolutely hysterical. After reading their mom's notebook, Niles finally signs his divorce papers, only to later discover the Niles in her notes wasn't him at all.
Oh my God, Maris has seen the papers. It's too late to take it back.
Your reasoning was still sound.
My reasoning? My reasoning was based on my mother's obsession with bourbon!
He takes a moment to cool off, only to end up a little hot and foamy. In the outtake, as Niles emerges covered in foam, you can see his on-screen family members smirking. However, that's not what breaks them. Martin starts to deliver his detective expertise on the situation, but breaks down before finishing the line.
You know what must have happened? My hot and foamy must have exploded.
Soon enough, everyone else is laughing along with him. In the next take, Daphne's hilarious follow-up line sets them off again.
My hot and foamy must have exploded.
He was a detective, you know.
Number 9, She Drove Me Here, Parks and Recreation. Ah, Craig. How do we describe Craig? Well, he's loud, a little intense, never shies away from voicing his opinion, and is very enthusiastic about everything.
Craig Middlebrooks, Samantha in the boardroom, Miranda in the bedroom. I know it's not ideal, but it's who I am. This is my friend Madison. She's amazing, and she drove me here.
He's also hilarious and a beloved addition to the Parks team, courtesy of actor Billy Eichner. In this scene, Leslie puts together a team to brainstorm ideas to improve community relations following the Pawnee-Eagleton merger. Craig introduces himself and his friend Madison, who drove him in. In the blooper, it's clear that everyone's getting a kick out of Eichner's delivery, and Aziz Ansari even eggs him on.
How did you get here?
Are you an idiot? She drove me here.
Who did?
Does anyone want to do shots? There's alcohol in here.
There is alcohol in here.
Of course, it's not long until they all break. We only wish this conversation had made the final cut.
Craig, I might need a ride back home. Could you drive me back to my place?
She drove me here. Damn it.
Number 8, Thor and Dr. Jones, The Big Bang Theory. We wonder how many takes of this classic Big Bang scene it took before the director raised their hand and went, "Ah, well, good enough." In this season 9 episode, a crowd gathers at the comic book store to see Footprints on the Moon make their musical debut.
Indy's whip snapped, Thor's hammer missed. It was Avenger versus Archaeologist.
The guys have penned some interesting lyrics, but we commend their commitment. In fact, in the episode that aired, Kaylee Cuoco can be seen chuckling when Howard really goes for those high notes.
Thor and Dr. Jones. Thor and Dr. Jones. One plays with lightning, the other plays with bones.
Still, that's nothing compared to the outtake. When Howard tries to harmonize, Cuoco can't contain her laughter, and soon brings some other cast members down too.
One plays with lightning, the other plays with
Number 7. Cricket fakes it. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Charlie and Mac are reunited with old friend Pete, but they're disappointed that he's more together than they remembered. So they turn to Cricket to help lure the old Pete out with what can only be described as an exorcism.
Let's go through the basic beats. All right. Talk a bunch of Latin.
Yeah, that's me. I'll fake it.
What do you mean you'll fake it? You don't know your Latin anymore?
No, don't worry about it. I can sell anything.
There's just one problem. Cricket doesn't know the required Latin to perform such a task. Now let's cut to the outtake. Cricket waxes lyrical about the importance of faking it, and something about his co-star's reaction suggests that maybe this wasn't the dialogue they expected. They try to play along, but can barely get through a sentence without giggling. They're certainly not faking just how funny they find this scene.
Sometimes you don't fake it. Okay. And it just ends naturally.
Okay.
Number 6. The Couch Gag. Boy Meets World. Eric spends this episode in an array of disguises as he seeks vengeance on Topanga.
Don't you worry about Topanga.
But it turns out he's no match for her, physically or mentally. Unfortunately, one of his more creative yet ill-thought-out costumes didn't make the final cut. However, the bloopers can be seen at the end of the episode.
He's never leaving, is he? Never. I'm only asking because it is 3 o'clock in the morning, and you're crushing Eric.
Sean and Angela have been sitting on the couch embracing for a while, seemingly unaware that Eric's hiding in the cushions. His reveal is so funny that it breaks everyone, and since it didn't make the final cut, we can only imagine the amount of takes ruined by laughter.
You gotta get off!
Number 5. No one is safe around Betty White. Hot in Cleveland. This is wild to imagine, but apparently the late great Betty White wasn't meant to be a series regular on Hot in Cleveland. She was initially signed on as a guest star in the pilot episode. But come on, it's Betty White. Of course folks loved her.
I'm coming. I know what action means.
So do I, but it's been so long.
And if she hadn't been convinced to join the cast, we may never have gotten so many hilarious bloopers. In one of our favorites, White's Elka talks about her dating profile.
In fact, that's my screen name. Bender over. I signed up when my bender was over. I signed up when my bender was over.
White can barely get through the punchline without giggling, which sets off a domino effect with her scene mates. In fact, it's so funny that it even gets called back to in a later outtake.
Oh no. I have a feeling we have another bender over.
Number 4. Kitty's Dance. That 70s Show. In the episode, Kitty and the girls head to a club for Donna's bachelorette party. The usually wholesome matriarch unveils a wild streak when she starts grooving in front of the exotic dancer.
I need room to roll. Born free. As free as the something free.
It's so funny that even in the episode, Mila Kunis can be spotted openly laughing. However, as this outtake shows, she wasn't the only one who found the moment hysterical. Even Deborah Jo Rupp can't keep a straight face. According to the actress, she improvised the whole thing and intended to keep going until someone yelled cut.
I had never done it full out during rehearsal because I just didn't know what I was going to do. So tape night, I did it full out.
We imagine she would have kept dancing for a while, as everyone was probably doubled over and too breathless to call it anyway.
Mila couldn't speak. Laura's behind me. They are collapsed in laughter, and no one's yelling cut. So I just keep dancing and dancing.
Number 3, the plasma TV, The Office. The dinner party episode was beloved by critics and fans alike, and for good reason.
I was watching Jim's face.
I was watching Jim.
And he was laughing.
The writing was top-notch, the acting was on point, and it gave us one of our favorite The Office bloopers. Michael shows Jim and Pam his new plasma TV during a tour of his and Jan's home. The camera then shows it.
I actually hung this on the wall myself. It's good. I want to show you something. A lot of people in the room, you need more space. Voila, right into the wall. Wow.
If you thought that was funny, check out this outtake.
I guess what surround sound means is that, right over here, Jim.
They can barely keep it together, but Steve Carell's attempts to keep going just make them break even more. The actor acknowledges that it's going to be a long day.
We have 2 speakers. What? Honey? Oh, Jesus. This is terrible. We'll never finish this episode.
Eventually, they completely lose it, and everyone needs a moment to regroup. Number 2, Ross plays the bagpipes, Friends. Ross Geller is at the center of 2 hysterical Friends bloopers that broke everyone involved. But before we pivot onto our pick, we just had to take a second to appreciate this moment. The cast managed to one-up their own hilarity a couple of seasons later when Ross showcases his newfound talent to the gang and urges them to join in, which Phoebe does.
You know the song. Sing along.
In the aired episode, you can see that Jennifer Aniston struggles to maintain composure. However, she's far from the only one who catches the giggles in this blooper. We get it, we've probably watched this scene hundreds of times, and it never gets less funny. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, The Elephant Story, The Carol Burnett Show. According to Carol Burnett's memoirs, a golden rule of sorts on her show was that everyone should stay in character.
I go around circling like that. It was so laughable at the time.
But here's the thing, when something's just that darn funny, the rules pretty much mean squat. During this installment of the family sketch, the group plays a game of password. Mickey Hart, played by Tim Conway, tells such a ridiculous story about elephants that everyone, including Burnett, struggles to maintain their composure.
They was joined at the end.
The more details he adds, the more they begin to crack.
I kind of felt sorry for them. They couldn't go like the other elephants when they go.
However, it's Vicki Lawrence as Mama who finally fully breaks them all. It's still one of the funniest TV bloopers of all time.
Go on, Mama. Sure that little asshole's through.
Which set looks like it would be the most fun to work on? Let us know in the comments. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.